Hello, everybody. My name is Jake Holzauer alongside my color commentator for today, Ben Lotman, and welcome to the Liacouras Center. It is Temple women's basketball going up against the number 15 ranked West Virginia. This is going to be a really fun game. Ben, this is the first time we're ever on the call together, so it's going to be very, very fun and exciting. What do you have for this one, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really, really exciting basketball game. Diane Richardson with her biggest test so far in her career here at Temple. The best opponent we've seen at Liacouras in a long time on the women's side of things. But Temple has a lot of momentum. They upset Villanova in their last game in the Big Five Classic, the first on the women's side of things. So that should give them a lot of momentum. But this West Virginia Mountaineers team is excellent. They faced a lot of easier games this season, but they only lost by 5 points to a Texas team that is pushing for a 1 seed in the women's tournament. So they're a very good team. I think what it's going to come down to here for Temple, and the only way they'll be able to find a win, is if they shoot the three ball well. Defensively, they're 48th in the nation in defending the three-point line. Opponents are shooting just 28% from the three-point arc. If Temple can shoot the three ball and defend it well, they do have a chance in this game, but it's going to be really difficult, as this West Virginia team is just very good all around in every facet of the game.
Absolutely. And like you said, Ben, Diane Richardson, this is going to be her biggest test so far this year, and maybe in her entire career. We know that she lost in the championship last year, but this year she's coming off of probably her second biggest test so far this season and the first ever women's Big Five Classic. A lot of momentum coming off of that win against Villanova. Of course, the women's team winning 76-62, a great showing out from this very young Temple team. So, Ben, with this team being so young against this experienced West Virginia team who is top 15 in the nation right now, what can you expect and what do you want to see from the Temple side today?
Yeah, I expect them to play the Temple way with heart, with hustle. You know, don't make too many mistakes. That's the only way you can stay in ball games like this. Limit the mistakes and make West Virginia have some mistakes as well, although they are a veteran-laden lineup, a fifth year, 2 seniors and 2 juniors that have a lot of experience. So it's going to be hard to get them flustered, but you know, if they can get off to a quick start, I think that'll be a way to keep this ball game close. And you know, Temple is a very good free throw shooting team, so this is a close ball game or West Virginia gets in foul trouble. That could be a way that Temple keeps this game close down the stretch.
Absolutely, and of course, West Virginia coming off of a win against East Tennessee State, 85-40, doubling their point total for that game. And like you said, Ben, the last test that West Virginia really had, and so far their only loss on the season is against that ranked Texas team where they lost 78-73, but every other game was a blowout for them. I mean, going back to Boise State on November 30th, over 40 points. I mean, besides that Texas game that they lost, they won every other game by at least 20-plus points. So it's going to be tough for Temple, who's not ranked at all this season so far. There always is a possibility for that to happen. But what would be, if Temple were to lose this game, what would be a positive for them if they keep it in a certain point range, if they limit West Virginia to a certain amount of points? What would you consider a win?
I think you got to look at the offensive side of things, because you're not going to – it's almost impossible to slow down this West Virginia team. I mean, they've only scored under 80 twice this season through 10 games. I think if Temple can put up 60-plus, that would be very impressive. West Virginia has only allowed 60-plus twice this season. So that would be very impressive for them. I think that should be a goal. I mean, obviously the main goal is to try and win the ball game.
Absolutely.
But you know, you got to take little takeaways from a game like this where it'll be very unlikely for them to come out with the victory.
Yeah, of course. This isn't a conference matchup, so it doesn't really matter on the conference standings at least. But it is definitely going to be a momentum booster for Temple if they're able to knock this big opponent down.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big thing you got to watch out for is the turnovers. West Virginia had 3 of the steals leaders last season in the Big 12.
Wow.
And they're all in the starting lineup right now. So the ball handling is going to be crucial for Temple. I would expect West Virginia to maybe press them at some point. You know, we'll see what happens. But I think, you know, with this young Temple team, they're going to have to see if they can handle the pressure.
Absolutely, and handling the pressure they did last game against Villanova, where the leading scorer, one of the leaders on this team, if not the leader on this team, Tiara East, led the Owls last game against Villanova with 26 points, which is her third 20-plus point game this season. So if the Owls want to have a good chance of winning this game, she is the one that needs to step up and get to that point total once more. What do you think about that, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think when you have an alpha like that, she's really got to step up. And in a game like this, you know, on a national stage, I mean, this game is also being broadcast on ESPN2, so this is a national stage for these players. And, you know, it's a big opportunity. And you've seen some of the Temple players, you know, not perform up to the standard that they would probably expect from themselves to start the season. Not that it hasn't been an unsuccessful start to the season for Temple, but you know, I feel like everybody in the program thinks they would have started off better.
Yeah, I mean,
especially on the offensive side of things.
Coming off of such a big run last season, you would have thought that they would have carried that momentum into this season. But it turns out that the amount of graduations and transfers that they had of players leaving this team actually did end up affecting them a lot more than a lot of people thought and a lot of the fans thought. And, I mean, they started out the season 2-2. But since that, they're 3-1. So it seems like they're finally hitting their stride, and a big part of that is the best number 6 woman off the bench, Kayla Turner. 10 points against Villanova, her third straight game with double-digit points. I mean, they struggled offensively in the beginning of the season. They only eclipsed 70 points one time. But Kayla Turner has really, really helped them this season off the bench, and possibly could even get a start tonight and could be a starter moving forward this season. What do you think of this offensive team for Temple?
Yeah, I mean, they're announcing the starting lineup right now as we speak, but I think, like I said, the main thing is scoring. I think you got to be, if you're Coach Richardson in this game, you got to be aggressive offensively. You got to get all of your offensive players going because, you know, it's hard to outshoot West Virginia, but you know West Virginia is going to get at least 70 points.
That's the thing. You can't outshoot West Virginia in this one. What you have to do is limit their points to get to a level where
limit their easy buckets.
Absolutely.
Because the main thing is this West Virginia team forces a lot of turnovers, gets a lot of easy baskets that way. I think Tristan Taylor is somebody. A lot of people thought she was going to be the leader of this team coming into the season alongside Tiara East, and she just hasn't really performed that well, or at least up to what I thought and many of the other fans thought she would.
Well, the good thing about Tristan Taylor is that off the bench, Kayla Turner has really fit it. Like, if they're never on the court together, Tristan Taylor and Kayla Turner. So when Tristan Taylor is not feeling like herself early in the game, you can put Kayla Turner in the game early on to make up for where Tristan Turner was lacking. So that 1-2 combo of the replacement coming in for Taylor off the bench is really, really crucial for this Temple team. Kayla Turner is a battery that they plug into the games, and it really, really gets the energy going here for Temple.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very fun to see who even starts here today, because that's not even a given who starts anymore on this team, because there's so many moving pieces and so many people that could potentially start. So we're definitely going to say that once the starters come out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it should be an exciting game. I'm very excited to see how this Temple team stacks up. And I think for the long term, even if they do, you know, get blown out, I think this is going to help them, especially in conference play, going up against this caliber of opponent. I think it can do nothing but help this Temple program.
If you face a super good opponent, then the opponents that aren't up to that level will seem easier. Same thing with practice. If you practice harder than the games are, then the game shouldn't be a problem.
Absolutely.
So the game is about to start here in the Liacouras Center here in Philadelphia. And, of course, Ben, it's finals week. And one thing that doesn't stop from finals is basketball. So this is definitely a fun thing to give all the students a break to come here and take a break and take their mind off of the excruciating work that is studying and eventually taking tests, projects, assignments, what have you.
Yes, I will say I'm very excited to be here. I know you are also very excited.
Absolutely.
Our first game together, our first of a few this season.
Oh yeah, we have a
So-
lot planned.
Let's start it off right. Let's do this. Let's go.
Absolutely. Of course, people that know me and Ben, we're on the same podcast together, so this is going to be very fun to be more of a professional setting. But also, we're still gonna have fun with it. As long as Temple can bring the heat, then we're gonna bring the heat as well. So here comes the starters, and ready to announce them. Let's go. It looks like Tristan Taylor is getting the start at the point today with Tiara East. Of course, she's been in the starting lineup all season long with Amaya Oliver. She's been there as well, and Jalissa Molina is there as well with Tariana Gary. So it's the same five that's been out there all year. Of course, the question is if Kayla Turner would get the start. But I actually asked the question to Diane Richardson when she faced LaSalle. And I asked if Kayla Turner could potentially push her way into the starting lineup. And Diane Richardson kind of was a little, she didn't answer it to the right way that I wanted to. I didn't get a guaranteed answer, but she did say that she is playing well off the bench, and she's not afraid to keep her on the bench, which I sort of agree with because you need that spark plug later in games.
Yeah. Having that six-man or woman in this case is always necessary. You need that scoring punch off the bench. And, you know, hopefully she has a good game, but these starters really need to get going early.
Absolutely. So the tip-off here is won by Temple. Bringing it up for Temple is number 11, Tristan Taylor, as she tries to direct Jalissa Molina to the other side of the court, who gets it around the wing. Molina, of course, the tall forward, the sophomore from France. She really hasn't stepped up. A three is missed, but the rebound and the putback is good by Jalissa Molina. As soon as I say that, she steps up big.
And that is one of the things Temple is best at. 7th in the nation in offensive rebounding.
Absolutely. Jalissa Molina, the 6'2 forward, only averaging 2 rebounds a game, Ben. So that she definitely needs to step up in that point. But if she does, as the three-pointer from West Virginia is missed from the contest from Molina, but the rebound for West Virginia as she drives into the lane, the tough shot and the foul. Ben, Jalissa Molina, like I said, only 2 rebounds a game. You need more production there from your bigs.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the weirdest statistics I've noticed from this team is offensively, they're 7th in the nation in rebounding. Defensively, 228th.
That's
so.
Wow.
It seems as though they're crashing the boards offensively, but they're not doing the same thing on defense. So that's going to be a big point of interest here as West Virginia made their first free throw.
Yep, J.J. Kiernley made both her free throws, and that's something that West Virginia is not going to it's not going to help Temple. They don't miss free throws because they are a top 15 ranked team.
And here's that full court press I kind of talked about pregame.
Absolutely. Their defense is really good. Bringing it up for them is Tiara East, passing it back over to Tristan Taylor. Taylor, the main point on this team, who drives in. The Euro step, puts it up, not getting it, but there's Molina again. Back out to East. Bang! Tiara East for the 3, and that's what I'm talking about with Jalissa Molina, Ben.
And Tiara East getting it going early, that could be big. Back-to-back possessions with offensive rebounds. Actually, every possession for both teams has had an offensive rebound.
Yeah, that's good for Temple so far and for West Virginia, as there's a wide open woman from 3 in the corner, and that is missed. That was Kylie Blackston there, and passing it all the way down court to Tiara East. East looking for her 4th game with 20-plus points this season. Taylor bringing it up, driving into the paint, floats it, does not get there, but it's going to be a foul going towards West Virginia side. Temple commits that foul, a loose ball foul. Ben, what did you see on that possession?
Yeah, I think Taylor there, I like the idea, but she either needs to get closer to the cup. She's kind of shooting a floater, which
like
she's not the best at.
Seems like she kind of rushed that possession there.
Yeah, back-to-back rushed shots. The last time they got an offensive rebound, this time they almost did not. I think they got to slow it down a little bit, get the ball to Tiara East as West Virginia has it here.
Absolutely.
Temple playing a little zone.
3 from West Virginia is missed, and the rebound goes West Virginia's way. It came out of Molina's hands, and now a one-on-one opportunity, passing it over to the corner. Down low. Passing it back inside, and it looks like It could have been stolen, but West Virginia holds on, and it's going to be a travel for West Virginia. Temple with a great defensive stand.
Great defensive possession. It would have been nice if they would have secured that rebound there just through the hands of Molina, as you said. But, you know, the defense here for Temple early on has been pretty solid. I mean, they did give up a few open threes as Temple throws the ball away here.
Temple just completely threw the ball away on that inbound, which is a terrible momentum shift there.
I don't know what.
Down low, but they give it right back. Temple now going on the fast break. Going up is Gary. Molina cannot get the rebound, and West Virginia goes back. Very sloppy basketball so far here in this one.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about me. And
wide open three. Bang! That's number 5, Sydney Shaw on that three-pointer to tie this game up. And Ben, there was no one around her.
Yeah, a lot of wide open threes so far for West Virginia, and another turnover for ITR East.
Yeah, bad pass, a steal, and that is a layup over East down in the paint. That was Kaya Watson on that turnover. And we go towards our first commercial media timeout. Ben, sloppy basketball. We'll be back as soon as this timeout is over. Welcome back to WHIP Radio Sports. Jake Holzhauer alongside Ben Lotman. And this West Virginia team is up 7-5 off of some great defense that made Temple turn the ball over. So right now, another bad defensive play as number 5, Sydney Shaw, gets that steal. And that's going to be a shooting foul on Temple, it looks like.
No, it was an offensive foul.
Oh, yeah, offensive foul. Good call by the ref there. She basically just ran into a brick wall.
Yeah. And Kayla Turner is now into the ball game.
Yeah,
she
Kayla
had that
Turner,
turnover, but
yeah, Kayla Turner already in, which shows that Coach Richardson is not afraid to dip into that bag as early as 6 minutes into the first quarter.
yeah, it seemed they definitely need some more ball handlers with this press.
Yeah, they need someone to create separation as well because
Yeah.
with the press, there's almost no separation being created, which is why the passes are not landing for Temple. And it looks like Kayla Turner and Tristan Taylor are both out there at the same time.
Interesting lineup, but makes sense in this kind of situation.
Yeah, they took out Tiana Gary, which is very interesting.
West Virginia playing a zone here.
Interesting. Going up is East, the foul. And if East hits both these free throws, it is going to be a tied game. Ben, Temple can't let West Virginia get an early lead because if they do, then they're just going to be looking up and constantly chasing them all game.
It really stinks that Temple has had all these turnovers, though we did talk about the fact that that was probably going to happen pregame. If they didn't have those turnovers, Temple would probably be winning by 4 or 5 points right now. But with that being said, they do have an opportunity here to tie it. And, you know, this is a good start for Temple, keeping it this close.
And Coach Richardson just checked in, number 19, Anissa Rivera, the graduate forward. And it's very interesting that she did take out Amaya Oliver because Amaya Oliver, who's been starting all season long, especially against a top 15 ranked team, I mean, you don't want to change it up that much as East is able to tie this game up.
As I said pregame, Coach Richardson's going to be aggressive. She wants to win this game.
Yeah. And the good thing about Coach Richardson is that there's no game that's out of reach. As West Virginia, a three is no good. That shot came from Sydney Shaw, who's been in this game all day so far. But West Virginia gets the offensive rebound. Back out to Shaw.
Temple's defense has been really good. Their on-ball pressure has been really excellent to start this game.
West Virginia now. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Three is good. That is from J.J. Keneally, and that is a great offensive possession by West Virginia, who is able to chop at the clock, which the clock isn't a factor at the moment since it's only the first quarter, but they were able to get a three as it's another steal, this time from Kylie Blackston. But a travel. West Virginia travel. Both teams playing very, very sloppy so far.
Temple.
But West Virginia so far, their defense is the one stepping up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is Temple's passes just aren't crisp enough. They're throwing up a lot of lobs.
Yeah.
Which you cannot do ever, but especially against a West Virginia team that has very good hands all around.
For three, Temple is missed. That was the new person on the court, Anissa Rivera. And there's a bit of a scramble for the ball, but it looks like it's going to go West Virginia's way. I believe a jump ball there. And still 10-3 here in the first quarter. And like you said, Ben, I need to see a lot more bullet passes, a lot more threading the needle type passes where they need to show some force on offense.
Yeah,
Temple.
absolutely. And, you know, it seems early on West Virginia is going to be okay settling for some contested three-pointers.
Absolutely.
It seems like they're attacking them from the outside so far. So
trying to drive on Molina is West Virginia. Back out to three for Shaw, but there was a foul called, and that will be no good there.
Yeah, and that is on. That was on Kylie Blackston.
Yeah, I believe
offensive foul.
Yeah, an offensive foul there, legal screen for her. So Temple catching a break, but I mean Shaw wide open once more. And now they're trapping in the backcourt here.
Good break there for Temple.
Yeah, back out. Turner getting a woman a jump, putting it up, and gets it to fall. Kayla Turner, what a shot!
That was a great play there. The ball, the jump, the pump fake.
Yeah,
easy for me to say.
Made a woman jump.
Yeah.
As Shaw passing it over now to the top, back down low against Molina, and that's going to be a defensive foul there, saying that Molina's elbow got up there. That was on Kylie Blackston.
An interesting call. It seemed like Molina had the positioning there, just a little.
Yeah, it looked like Blackston went for a spin, and then Molina kind of went into her with her
not
chest.
really much Molina can do there, but
no. But that's going to be a really big matchup there. The 6'3" forward, Kylie Blackston, against the 6'2" forward, Molina. The only difference is that Blackston's a fifth-year graduate and Molina's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
So
she does come out of the game there.
Yeah.
Oliver comes back in.
Yep, definitely one One has more experience than the other by far. Back out to 3. West Virginia hits it. That is number 10, Jordan Harrison with the 3. And it looks like this West Virginia team doesn't care who's shooting the 3 as long as they're putting up those shots.
Yeah, absolutely. They've shot the 3 ball really well so far to start this game.
Turner down to Taylor. Turner now up at the top of the court. Passing it over to the wing. Now Oliver back to Turner. Turner to East. East getting guarded closely here. Only 1 second, has to put up a shot. And from my angle, it looked like it almost went in, but that was an air ball, Ben.
Yeah, it was short. It was online. It was short.
Yeah, that was definitely it's not – Temple, it seems like, is having a tough time putting up shots, so they're trying to force some. Of course, you have to put the shot up there. But they don't really have time to really make plays happen while the sticky defense of West Virginia is constantly on their tail.
Temple going back to a zone here. Pretty interesting call because West Virginia shot the 3 ball really well. But
the mid-range jumper is no good there for Kyle Watson. But there will be, I believe, an over-the-back foul that will keep West Virginia with possession.
Yeah, just a really unnecessary foul
there.
Yeah,
Anissa Rivera on that foul there, her first of the game.
Very unnecessary after a really, decent defensive possession there.
The thing with this Temple team is that you can't give West Virginia more opportunities than they've already had this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you have to basically play perfect basketball to even stay within this game. And if you just keep giving West Virginia breaks, then it's just going to keep getting harder and harder for you to come back. West Virginia now looking to rebound it to the corner. That is J.J. Kneerly with the ball, passing it down low. Bit of a mismatch, wide open from 3, and it's another air ball. West Virginia with the offensive rebound. A bit of a fight for the ball.
It's a scramble in the corner. Another jump ball.
Another jump
And
ball.
that should be Temple's.
Yeah, a jump ball in college works as a turnover, so it's going to be Temple's possession here. But that was a bit of sloppy play from both teams. I mean, a couple girls ended up falling on the ground, and now Temple ends up with possession. But that's what I'm talking about. Temple needs to create turnovers like that because West Virginia will not turn the ball over as much as Temple will today.
And what I've noticed here in the levels, the different levels of these teams, you can see West Virginia is an elite team. They find these passes to wide open players that Temple just does not find. It's a lot more difficult for Temple to score as the mid-range is put up.
Yeah, like you were saying, Ben, as East gets the rebound, looking to drive in, the spin move, the fadeaway. Would have been such a nice shot, but West Virginia gets the defensive rebound. But it seems like the way that Temple plays defense, there's always going to be a woman open, especially Shaw over in the corner, as the big body down low isn't able to put it up. And that is a turnover for West Virginia as Rivera gets the ball. But the way that West Virginia plays defense, since they play such sticky one-on-one man, as Turner with the right-handed layup, it isn't able to get it. Oliver with the putback is good. But
Turner has looked really good. Even though she missed that layup, she has, like you said, she's been that spark, and she's going to get, it looks like she's going to get a lot of minutes this game.
Absolutely. But like I was saying with West Virginia's defense, Ben, they don't let people wide open. You have to create your own buckets. As Temple looking down low is no good for the big, who ends up hitting the bottom of the backboard, and that's a great defensive rebound there from, out of all people, Kayla Turner, who's the shortest person on the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is a big mismatch inside right now with this big for West Virginia.
Jordan Thomas.
Yes,
the
off the
6'3" forward.
Off the bench.
Freshman getting significant minutes here.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, for West Virginia, this is a perfect game to play some of your bench players. As Kayla Turner with the missed jump shot. I mean, Temple isn't the biggest of threat for West Virginia coming into this game, as the wide open 3 for West Virginia is missed. But I mean,
on that possession, they're way too easy.
I know.
Way too easy. She dribbled it up. 2 seconds later, she had a wide open 3. She didn't have to do anything.
Misses the 3, the step back 3. But so far, it looks like West Virginia's got to start worrying about Temple a little bit more because they're sticking with them so far here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean this.
And the block from, I believe, Kayla Turner. Again, the shortest woman on the team doing big-like stuff. Wide open from 3 is good. The bank from Sydney
Did she
Woodley.
call bank, though? You think she called bank?
I don't think she called bank.
No.
I don't
The
think
bank
she did.
was open, though.
It was.
It
And,
was.
Hey, points are points.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Kayla Turner is giving serious big energy here on the court as she gets the pull-up to fall. Kayla Turner cutting it down to a 3-point lead.
Yeah, and the thing is, what's surprising me is Temple hasn't played great. They played pretty sloppy. Only 3-point game here.
Yeah.
Last possession of the first quarter, West Virginia going to bring up the ball here and look to make this a 2-possession game going into the second.
Yeah, no shot clock here. 15 seconds left here in the first quarter. Dribbling it up for them is going to be J.J. Kneerly, the senior 5'8" guard. Passing it over, back and forth. Kneerly going into the lane, gets blocked by Oliver. And now 2 seconds to put up a shot. One, East comes up short. But your score ending the first quarter to 16-13. Ben, did you expect this close of a game so far?
I didn't. I did, some things I expected were some heart, some hustle from Temple. You've seen that throughout this game. I will say, defensively, it seems like every other possession is excellent defensively. They need to pick it up. They got to get every possession excellent defensively because West Virginia has gotten some really easy shots, but also some possessions for them have been very difficult. That last possession there, they really didn't get a good shot at all.
No.
Great defense there, and the block to end it. On the offensive side of things for Temple, they've had to work very hard to get some buckets, but, they haven't shot the ball the best, but they're in this ball game.
Absolutely.
I mean, right now they're only shooting 31% from the field, 1 for 5 from 3. West Virginia is shooting 4 for 10 from the 3-point arc, which is kind of what you would have expected from them.
Yeah.
But if Temple's 3-point shooting gets going here, who knows what's going to happen the rest of this game.
Absolutely. I think we could both agree that if Temple were to play clean the rest of the game, limit the turnovers, then I think they would seriously have a chance so far in this one. But that will be our second commercial break of the game. We will be back at the start of the second quarter. Please stay tuned on WHIP Radio on YouTube. Welcome back to WHIP Sports Radio here on YouTube. Temple women's basketball. Jake Holsauer alongside Ben Lotman against ranked 15 West Virginia. And Temple is in this game only down by 3 points. And Ben, we both agree, if they play clean for the rest of the game, limit those mistakes, they have a serious shot in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think from a coaching perspective, you want to be better, but both teams have been sloppy. Maybe this is going to be a slop fest, which I think would benefit Temple more than West Virginia.
Oh, absolutely, because West Virginia, say if you're West Virginia coming off a barely, very sloppy victory against Temple and then going into the rest of your schedule, you're not confident. You just got by the skin of your teeth against a team that you think isn't anywhere comparable to you. But now, West Virginia starting here at the second quarter with the ball. The three-pointer is no good, and that is what I think West
Wow.
Virginia is not doing well. They're not putting up good shots. They're just putting up any shots. As in the corner, Rivera puts up a bad shot by missing that one.
Tristan Taylor got a great defensive rebound, but Temple needs to slow it down there offensively.
Absolutely. They can't be rushing as fast as West Virginia looks to be doing, as the left-handed layup is good by Jordan Harrison. What a nice play down low. But, I mean, Temple, just take your time offensively and take your time putting in the rebound or the
Inbound.
throw-ins,
Yeah.
the inbounds, because that's another turnover just off the inbound alone. That's at least the third time I've seen that today, Ben.
I don't know why. Both games I've called this season, Temple has had immense trouble inbounding the ball.
And that is going to be a foul on Temple there. A reach-in foul. Oh, no, an offensive foul. My bad. 23 for West Virginia is Jordan Thomas, the freshman big. And it was an offensive foul on her.
Yeah. I mean, look, Temple has got to focus a lot more on inbounding the ball. But
Absolutely.
if
There
they
we
break
go.
this press, they could push it just like they did there.
Molina missing the layup, and that's a tough one to hit. But once again,
Those are the ones you have to make, though.
those are the mistakes that you have to clean up if you're Temple and if you want to stick within at least 5 here in the game, which they are at right now.
Yes.
It's going to be a big matchup for Molina down low against the other undergraduate, as that is a bucket for number 32 on West Virginia, Kyle Watson. But Molina getting another opportunity, and she doesn't fail. She doesn't fail that one, Ben. She is able to hit that quick layup.
She passed her final.
She did pass her final.
Did you
Well,
pass your final?
I passed all of them.
Nice.
Hopefully. I didn't get the final grade on one. But here we go. West Virginia passing it over to number 23, Jordan Thomas, the freshman, who puts up the right hand and gets fouled.
Seemed like a little bit of a bailout there from the ref. I didn't really see any immense contact there, but
Yeah.
you know, it's been an interesting defensive day for Temple,
Yep.
for sure.
Here comes the freshman Jordan Thomas taking a seat on the bench, as shooting these free throws who got fouled was Celia Revere.
Yeah, she looks like a player. If she works on her finishing, she could be a really excellent player.
Absolutely. Revere, the 6'3" forward, also from France. So if she matches up against Molina, maybe they can start speaking some French to each other.
Interesting that Temple has a big French.
They do. They do.
capacity.
Jalissa Molina this season. Last season, of course, with her was Ines Piper,
Yes.
who unfortunately for Temple graduated as one of their star players last season. But now Temple not able to get it to Tiara East, who was wide open down the court. She could have put up that 3 with nobody in the vicinity.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the stronger pass, but you got to be more accurate with your passing there.
Absolutely. It's one thing to get the ball from the inbound. It's another to pass it all the way down court for the Hail Mary play. Down low.
West Virginia has 2 bigs in the game right now.
Absolutely. Missing it. Putting it up. She gets her own rebound. That was Terza Moore, the senior forward from Oklahoma. But she got fouled instead of making the N1. Amaya Oliver on that foul. And Temple not helping themselves out with the foul trouble too much, because they've been fouling pretty consistently to start the second quarter.
Yeah, and it looks like West Virginia is starting to pull away a little bit. Can Temple pull themselves back after these 2 free throws?
They must limit the turnovers, and the big thing is just getting points off of this inbound, because 7 points is a big deficit. Not impossible to come back, but once you start seeing 10, 15, and then you look up and you think the game's already out of reach, that's going to be rough. That's what West Virginia does, so hopefully Temple can stay within at least 10 points here, as the first free throw was missed and the second one was also missed. That's big. That's huge for Temple.
Very helpful, and you know that allows Temple to not have to face that pressure as difficult.
Absolutely. From 3 is missed. That was Tristan Taylor. The rebound.
Gary got the offensive, or East, got the offensive rebound there, missed the layup.
Yeah.
Way too many missed layups for Temple.
And second chance points. You got to take advantage of the amount of second chance points you're giving yourself.
Yes. I will say, though, Temple's got to stop.
Nice pass, but missed the free layup.
Temple has got to stop with those early pull-up threes, slow the game down a little bit.
Absolutely. Here
my
is
opinion.
East. East working on her defender. Down low to Molina. Molina passing it back out. Good pass, I think. Missed that three from Tiana Gary. I think that was a smart decision by Molina because she was getting trapped within the paint, but just a missed three-point shot.
It feels like Temple is trying to chuck up threes to stay close in this game, which, you know, they're a team that could go on a run with three-point shooting. Yeah, talking about a pregame, but you don't have to shoot a three every possession.
And that's more out of character for them. They get the easy buckets, like you were saying. They don't make mistakes down low, which they're doing right now.
Yeah.
So let's definitely see how that develops as Oliver, the turnaround, almost made it. That would have been a very clean shot. But now Temple looks up at the scoreboard, and they're down by 9 points already.
Yeah, I mean, a great start, a perfect start for West Virginia to the second quarter.
A 2-point lead going into the second quarter for West Virginia is now 9. So, West Virginia, an errant pass trying to go down low, and that's a turnover that Temple must have and must take advantage of.
Yeah, I was interested. I feel like if West Virginia scored there, Temple is going to have to take a timeout, but, you know, Temple now has an opportunity to cut down this lead.
Keep chipping. You got to keep chipping away if you're Temple, and you can't get overwhelmed with the score on the board, because if you become overwhelmed, then you're just going to start chucking up shots like they already are. So they got to stay composed against this very, very difficult opponent who is probably the best team they're facing all year. At least they're home. Molina down low, puts up a shot, no foul. Definitely thought she would get one. And now West Virginia bringing it up, passing it out beyond the arc.
Yeah, it kind of looked like she was looking for a foul there.
Absolutely. She did get hit kind of hard, but ref says it didn't affect the shot. Molina now on defense against Celia Revere. Going down low. No foul called there, but it is going to be a jump ball turnover for Temple. That's 2 possessions in a row with a turnover for Temple, but they haven't put up points from a turnover.
Yeah, a little interesting that they called a jump ball that quickly, because it looked like Temple just had the ball and was going to pass it out. But and now they lose the possession arrow, but, you know, they do get the ball, so it works out. But we'll see if Temple can work on this inbounding. They've done a good job so far the last few, and
they got it off here, so they're going to bring it up court now. I mean, these tough passes, it's going to be a travel for – I'm not even sure who that travel would be on. If it would be on
Gary.
East, it's going to be on Gary for making the pass after catching the ball. That's what happens when you try to make these Hail Mary passes, though. You can't really stop your feet to then continue the dribble.
Yeah, it was a mistake there. I mean, it was a pretty high pass.
Yeah. But they've been doing that all day. A contested three. And they missed that one.
No, she stepped out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
She stepped out of bounds.
Yeah.
She did miss the shot. But she also stepped out of bounds. And, Jake, I will say, West Virginia started off the quarter perfect. Temple has Temple scored this quarter? I don't even know. Down 9, East here bringing the ball up. And I will say, I mean, if Temple keeps it at 9 the rest of the way, there's still 5 minutes left. I think that would be a victory, being down only 9 at half, as East gets a mid-range jump shot, misses it.
And it's going to be an over-the-back foul for Molina. And that's, I mean, those are the shots that you have to hit. You got to hit the wide-open mid-rangers, which, I mean, that is East's, like, bread and butter right there. So I can't believe she missed that one.
Yeah, basically a free throw right there.
Yeah, you know. It's rough to see that one.
I will say, as somebody who has played the game, those jump shots from the free throw line feel so weird in game. But she makes that shot quite often as West Virginia gets a wide-open mid-range, misses it, and Temple gets the ball there. Yeah. West Virginia's bench is very frustrated at that call, but a timeout here.
Yeah, it's going to be a media timeout here for Temple and a media timeout here for us, as we will come back as soon as this timeout is over. Ben, so far, sloppy play still for both teams, with West Virginia really taking advantage more of the turnovers caused, and Temple not taking advantage of almost anything so far in this game. So what do you think going into this timeout?
Yeah, I mean, look, Temple has scored 2 points in this quarter, 2 in 5 minutes.
And it was a 2-point lead for West Virginia coming into this game, or into this quarter.
And here's the thing.
3-point lead.
Here's the thing. It's only a 9-point game. I know 9 points is a big margin, but the fact that Temple has only scored 2 points in this quarter.
Their defense has been showing out.
The defense has been showing out. I think this game is teetering. This timeout is going to be crucial. Can Temple cut this lead down,
Absolutely.
take it into halftime, maybe a 2-score, maybe a 1-score game, or is West Virginia going to make this a 16-plus point halftime deficit for Temple? We will see. I think, we're going to see in this timeout the coaching matchup here.
Absolutely.
And I think it's going to come down to coaching.
Yep.
Can Temple make the adjustments offensively,
And
or
defensively.
can West Virginia push that lead even further than it is now?
Absolutely. As we go towards another timeout, we will be back once the play resumes. Stay tuned. Welcome back to WHIP Radio Sports on YouTube. I'm Jake Holzhauer alongside Ben Lotman. And after this timeout, Temple is down by 9 points. They just got to keep it within that 10-point range. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, absolutely. This last 5 minutes is going to be crucial as they get the ball up pretty easily, and they've done that most of this quarter.
Yep, Taylor over to East in the corner to Oliver on the wing.
East had an opportunity to shoot that three-pointer there.
Taylor, the floater, and Oliver with a nice rebound, and she's just going to get smuggled, trying to avoid the jump ball. Turner now with the jump shot is no good. I think that a rebound by West Virginia, by the way. I think that shot by Taylor was just not a good one to take.
I think East had the opportunity to shoot 2 pretty wide-open threes, didn't take it there. Although they did end up with a decent mid-range shot.
Very interesting possession there for Temple off the break.
West Virginia sets a lot of screens on the offense. That's what I've noticed.
Not afraid to shoot the ball is a miss for Kylie Blackston. They're big, the tallest woman on the court. As now East bringing it down, passing it over to Turner. Turner directing traffic, asking Oliver for the screen. Turner back to Oliver. Oliver, the jump shot from the free throw line is no good, and they got to make those if they want to come back in this one.
Yeah, I don't know if you're Temple, if you want Oliver to be shooting that, but
if she's
it
wide
was a
open,
makeable shot.
Yeah, if she's wide open, you should be able to make that. Down low here for West Virginia, Celia Revere, as
dribbles it out of bounds.
Yeah, she loses the dribble and it goes out of bounds. Temple's possession. That's at least in this quarter alone. That's about the third or fourth turnover that I've seen Temple make or force West Virginia to make, and they haven't scored off of any of them. So let's see if the script is a little bit different this possession.
Yeah, if I'm the head coach for West Virginia, I am incredibly frustrated with how poorly my team has played.
Absolutely.
But if you're Temple, I mean, you've also not played very well, but you forced West Virginia to be sloppy, and if you get your offense going a little bit, you could be right back in this ball game.
Couple pass fakes from Oliver. The hop step is going to be called offensive foul.
Yeah, that was a very clear offensive foul.
Yeah, shades of Derrick Rose there.
Extended her elbow there.
Yeah.
You can see the replay. Kind of surprised we're not reviewing that for a flagrant, to be honest with you. That did not look like a
she kind of
basketball
did put
play.
her elbow up, as she is going to take a seat on the bench. That is Amaya Oliver, who took the seat, and coming in for her is Anissa Rivera.
If I want to say one thing about this game, it has been physical.
It has. Both teams are not shy to really put their bodies on the line, but also it's still been sloppy. The top of the key three-pointer is good for West Virginia, and now the lead is 12 for West Virginia.
Yeah, Temple really needs a bucket on this possession if they want to stay in this ballgame.
Jordan Harrison trying to put the dagger in early, as that shot by Rivera is gone, and I'm not sure if the first woman off the bench should be chucking up threes like that.
Yeah, a lot of ill-advised shots, in my opinion, for Temple.
Three is offline for West Virginia, who gets the offensive rebound, and the ball poked away by Temple. Gary poked it away, and it's going to be West Virginia's possession here on Temple's side of the court.
Yeah, I mean, look, Temple is checking up deep mid-range shots by shooters you don't want to have shooting the ball. You want Gary or East shooting the ball if you're Temple.
Absolutely.
Oh, great ball
pump fake, but the block by Temple. That's number 9 with the block.
Temple
Felicia
can push
Jacobs,
here.
the freshman. Gary for three, hits it, and that is a great possession for Temple. A great turn of
they had an
events.
opportunity to fast break. They took it, and like I said, you want East or Gary shooting it.
Absolutely, and the freshman, Felicia Jacobs, with the nice block against this ranked team. I can't believe she's getting this significant amount of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, she's been playing pretty well defensively.
Going inside, the foul on Temple.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like a homer here, but I've really disagreed with a lot of the foul calls both ways, but more so for Temple on the defensive side of things. The refs at some points are letting them be physical.
And
in that situation, they're not. I don't know, because that was very light contact, right, Jake?
Yeah, I think she was able to put her hands up, and unfortunately it was called West Virginia's way, which, I mean, if you're a top 15 ranked team, you're going to have calls go your way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
but
yeah.
the substitution here for Coach Richardson, Tiara East taking a seat on the bench as the other freshman off this Owls bench is Keelan Sedano. Sedano, the freshman guard, who had significant minutes against LaSalle in that game where she contributed a lot. And she's a great three-point shooter that sits around the boundary, Ben. So let's see where she is right now. Let's see if she puts up some points here within the last minute 30 in the second quarter. A lot of bench players here for Temple.
Gary was open there.
Rivera, the fadeaway, gets hit in the face, but doesn't get called. And she's complaining to the ref that she had a lot of contact there. West Virginia now on the turnover.
And that's a carry.
Yeah, it's a
I will
carry
say,
for West Virginia, and Temple now has possession.
100% should have been a foul call, but if you're going to chuck up a fadeaway three at this level of basketball, they usually aren't going to bail you out with a foul call.
I'm not sure why Rivera is chucking up those many shots. I mean,
it seemed like she didn't know how much time is left on the shot clock. They still had 10 seconds there, so
yeah,
could have gotten a better shot.
Yeah, she's put up some questionable shots so far here, but maybe she's trying to put the game into her hands, and she passes it to Turner, who usually makes that play, but that's an air ball.
Yeah. Last minute here of the first half, Temple down 11. A big defensive possession in my eyes.
I think this is a great time to see the players on the court, because there's a lot of bench players and a lot of freshmen out on the court right now. Who has the hot hand going into halftime for Coach Richardson? Because the starters clearly haven't been getting it done, only 18 points. Defensively, yes, that is a rebound by Sedano, the freshman.
Temple could push here to go 2 for 1. I
Turner
think they
now
should.
Turns the ball over, and it's a fast break for West Virginia, 2-on-2.
Gary with a good play there.
Wide open free throw shot is good. You're not going to miss that if you're a Division I basketball player. That's Sydney Shaw.
Yeah, I mean,
she's been great all game so far. She has
absolutely.
She's shooting 33% from the field, now 50%.
In this game,
5
though, that's
points.
good because there's been almost
no offense. Yeah, almost no shots being put up. No more shot clock here as we are now down to 15 seconds here before halftime. Temple just going to hold it out. Sedano for 3, and that's what I said as soon as she came in.
It.
I called it. She sits around the three-point range and waits to hit her shot. She got to her spot and put up the three. And that ball, at the sound of the horn, did not land. 10 points going into halftime. Ben, what have you seen? What have you liked and what have you not liked from this Temple team?
Well, first of all, that shot alone tells me Sedano's got to get some big minutes in the second half.
I think she comes out and starts in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, this Temple team on the offensive end this game, obviously you're up against one of the best teams in the country, West Virginia, but if you're Temple, I mean, you've got to find something on offense. The defensive side of things, I said it, you got to hold them to around 70 points. If you want any chance, maybe under 70. They're on pace to do that. West Virginia only scoring 31.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, Ben. If you're West Virginia coming into this game thinking, oh, we score 80 constantly this season, and you look up at the scoreboard and see you only have 31 points heading into halftime, I think you're disappointed as West Virginia because you're not on pace to even hit 70 points today.
Yeah, I think there is opportunities here, and I think, this is what West Virginia, I don't want to say would hope for, but if you're a coach the rest of the season and you're looking at it, this is a difficult game, and these are the type of games, if you're West Virginia, you want.
Absolutely.
You don't want to play this sloppy necessarily, but you don't want everything to be easy and you're out of conference. And this is looking like a dogfight here.
It's a big test here for Coach Richardson's team. And so far, if you erase all the sloppy plays, they're playing a really good defensive game, but their offense just needs to step up. And I think that might happen if you keep Sedano in the game going into halftime, but it's tough to give a freshman that many minutes against a very, very experienced and good team in the nation. But that will do it here for halftime. We'll be back in just 12 minutes for the second half. Don't go anywhere because WHIP Radio will be back here on YouTube. We'll see you then. Welcome back to WHIP Radio on YouTube. I'm Jay Colsauer alongside my color commentator and podcast co-host Ben Lotman. And it is Temple women's basketball versus ranked West Virginia. And Ben, they're down by 10 because of sloppy offense, but they're only down by 10 because of great defense. So what are you expecting coming into this half?
Look, I think a lot of what we talked about pregame has come to fruition, but also some additives. Temple has struggled early on against the press. They figured it out a little bit, but still a lot of turnovers in that half. But West Virginia has also turned over the ball quite a bit as well, which I was not expecting. I'm going to look. I honestly think West Virginia is going to come out here and dominate early on in this half. If they don't, I think Temple does have an opportunity. If they can figure out anything on the offensive side of the floor, they could close this gap. But this West Virginia team is so talented.
Absolutely.
You got to expect they're going to come out here and have a run and open up this margin a little bit. But we'll see.
Yeah, well, the one thing that we did expect is West Virginia to force Temple to not play their best game. But what we didn't expect is the other way around as well. Temple forcing West Virginia to play sloppy basketball as well.
Yeah, and they're doing what, Temple is known for in every sport, in every aspect. Tough, physical, hard-nosed, and the Temple way, Temple tough. You know the slogan. Everybody, you got to be Temple tough, and then they're playing
Stan
this game.
Drayton's favorite phrase.
Yeah.
And, for this West Virginia team going into this half, shooting 32% from field and 75% from free throw. I skipped over 3-point, 36 from 3. Temple hasn't missed a free throw yet, but only took 2 shots from the free throw. 24% from the field and 30% from 3. You want to see that field goal percentage go up a little bit more.
Yeah.
They actually took more shots in the first half than West Virginia did.
Yeah, your Stan Drayton comment reminded me of a funny experience I had. One of the games I was here as a fan. Met Stan Drayton, and this is a week and a half before he got fired. I say to my friend, hey, this might be his last game here, and it turns out it was.
Wow.
Unfortunately for him, but.
The 3 is good for West Virginia. JJ Connealy on that 3, and that's the perfect way you want to start as for West Virginia here in the at halftime is hitting that 3-pointer.
Yep, Temple able to get the ball in there to Taylor.
Yeah, that's been a struggle all game trying to inbound the ball. Now to East, over to the corner. Wide open is Gary. Unable to trade shots back and forth, but it's going to be a foul on the court, and it looks like it's going to be an offensive foul after the rebound from West Virginia, and it's going to give Temple the inbound. Either an offensive foul after they get the ball or a rebounding over the back foul, loose ball foul.
Yeah, it was just a foul on the rebound there.
Yep, Molina.
Great inbound play.
And that's the best inbound play we've seen all game long. A nice cut from Molina to get an easy layup, which they haven't actually been hitting all game.
Yeah, West Virginia here setting more screens as they've done all game, getting a wide open 3.
Missing it. But unfortunately, after East got the rebound, she got pickpocketed from behind, and a little bit of sloppiness there, but West Virginia ultimately ends up with 2.
Yeah, you gotta
watch your back.
Yeah, you gotta watch your back, but also those kind of plays to me are on your teammates. You gotta communicate better there, and they turn the ball over again to Tiara East.
Easy layup. West Virginia's not going to miss that, and just like that, this lead is going up to 15.
Yeah, I just said it. I expected a little run here out of West Virginia. Can Temple weather the storm here and put up some points? We'll see.
Nice pass to Molina, who gets blocked from behind, but it was a shooting foul. I mean, that was the best pass we've seen all day, Ben.
An excellent pass inside. And Molina has had a lot of really solid looks. You would hope she would have made more of them, but she has an opportunity here to get 2 from the charity stripe.
Absolutely. Molina taking her first free throws here, and she's been struggling pretty heavily this season of putting points up, only 4 points per game, as she does miss that first free throw. And, it hasn't been carrying over to free throws either. The second one is made, so she does make 1 of her 2 free throws. And I think West Virginia now looks to try to keep tallying on to this lead. Over to the corner.
Great
Nice
pass.
bounce pass, and that is a nice finesse layup down low to give West Virginia 2 points.
What a pass there.
Absolutely, a bounce pass on the court.
That's one of those plays you can just see why West Virginia is so highly ranked.
Absolutely. As down low, not able to put that one up is Tiana Gary. And, I mean, right there, Oliver, Amaya Oliver was wide open, could have took the shot, decided to pass it instead. And I think West Virginia, the great scouting from this team knows who doesn't want to take open shots and who can't hit certain shots. And I think they've really put that into effect here in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think as a team sport, 5v5, coaching is super important.
Absolutely.
That game prep, and you can see West Virginia knows where to attack Temple, but also on the defensive end, they know who to not leave open.
And that is someone that you shouldn't leave open the rest of the game. Tiara East 4-3 off the inbound. That's what happens when you give her space.
Yeah, I mean, she was wide open that time. At Temple, 3 people to the ball.
Interesting.
Luckily to escape there, as the layup is no good, and they have a chance to
5
break
here. Gary driving in, taking a really tough shot. And why are you taking that shot if you have a 5-on-4 opportunity?
Yeah, there was a wide open 3-point shooter there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a foul, but at the end of the day, like, why are you taking that shot?
No, I just think it was a block, Jake. I think, Temple ball here.
Oh, absolutely. Taylor now.
East wide open from the corner.
East again. Oh, she can't capitalize off her streak of threes. But, I mean, West Virginia giving up on yet another turnover, and Temple not being able to capitalize. Wide open in the corner. Missed. Rebound for West Virginia, though, and their offensive rebounds usually lead to points, but not in this case, as East gets that rebound. Oliver coming up a little bit injured, but not too much, as she's able to walk it off. East now slowing it down off the turnover.
I've liked the way Temple's offense has played this half. I think they're getting a lot more open looks, and they're making some more shots here to start the half. Defensively, like I said, West Virginia did go on that run, but Temple has seemed to survive it.
Yeah, it's going to be a defensive foul for J.J. Kinnearly. And, I mean, another inbound here for Temple. Let's see if they're able to make something happen again. As they just throw it over the entire court. Everybody on the court ends up in the backcourt, but luckily Taylor's there to pick it up. Now, Taylor directing traffic. Rivera setting a screen. And it's going to be a reach-in foul for West Virginia. Too aggressive defense there, which they've been playing aggressive all day long, but eventually you're going to get called foul.
Yeah, I mean, I think you take that. If you're a coach, getting a reach-in foul there isn't the end of the world.
It isn't, especially when, I mean, that's your MO. You play sticky defense that you don't give anybody easy shots, easy buckets. So it's okay if you get a couple here, especially since they really limited those fouls in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. Temple here.
Oliver backing down her opponent, passing it out. East, the step back 3 is good! That's a splash from Tiara East, and that cuts the lead down to 10.
Like I said, Temple weathered the storm here. Can they get a stop? Oh.
Wow, she, number 32 for West Virginia, absolutely drops someone, but it's actually number 5, Sydney Shaw, who's going to punish Temple for that drop.
Taylor got dropped. Lucky for her, she didn't get shot on.
Rivera, she's got to stop taking shots. I don't know why she keeps putting up everything. She's 0 for 4 from the field, and she's still putting up shots.
I mean, you can't knock the confidence, but, I agree with you. You have just so many other players you want to be shooting
Yeah, I mean,
the ball.
0 for 4, now 0 for 5, and that's going to be a foul on Temple here. Taylor taken out of the game for Turner. It's a free throw here for J.J. Kinnearly. But, I mean, there's got to be a point where Richardson sits down Rivera and goes, stop feeling yourself. But Richardson, that's one of her the things as a coach that she does. She never lets anybody know that they're not shooting well because it'll get into the player's mind. But there comes a point where you just got to give Rivera less minutes if she's doing this. I'm surprised we didn't see Sedano come out.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up. I'm surprised she's not in right now.
Yeah, I mean, she gave you life at the end of the first half, and now you're not even giving her minutes. You're giving somebody that's 0 for 5 minutes. So I'm not sure why Sedano's not in this game, as that is going to be
that's not a jump ball.
Jump ball for West Virginia.
It's never a jump ball.
I don't understand. East was getting trapped, and they decided to give the ball. It was a reach-in. It was a reach-in foul.
An atrocious call.
No, it was a reach-in foul.
An atrocious call. Just let them play. There was nothing there.
Yeah, I don't know.
They had a trap at the half court.
I'm not sure.
She maybe grabbed the ball for a half second.
Yeah,
but
it slows it down at least for Temple. So they can actually make something happen.
I-
Rivera taking another shot and misses again. 0 for 6 from the field. What is happening here, Ben?
You know,
you can't have somebody against a ranked opponent go 0 for 6 who continues to chuck up shots.
especially
Shaw from 3 misses it.
Look, I would get it if it was Char East.
Look, I would get it if it was against a team a bottom of the country, but not one of the top in the country.
Turner.
For 3, Turner. I mean, she's the one you want to be putting up shots, but now Rivera puts up another fadeaway and misses. This is ridiculous. This is actually ridiculous. 0 for 7 from the field. There's going to be a timeout here. But why is Rivera still taking shots against this opponent? Why? 0 for 7, and she's taking shots that look horrible.
Yeah, I think in that situation specifically, she was looking for a foul. But, I mean, yeah, Jake, I agree with you. It's hard because she is a veteran on this team.
I don't care if you're a veteran. You're 0 for 7 against one of the best teams in the country, and you're putting up the most contested shots I've ever seen. I don't think Prime MJ could have made that shot.
I mean, I don't know about that one. You know who could have made that shot? DeMar DeRozan, because he's the mid-range goat.
I know, but I mean, I just don't understand why Rivera's continuing to chuck up shots. 0 for 7 from the field.
You know what?
Ben,
I know why. It's because she knows it's really irritating you. She just specifically wants to irritate Jake Holtzauer.
I don't understand because she should try to win against a top 15 ranked opponent. If I am Coach Richardson, I am sitting Rivera instantly, and Sedano's coming out to hopefully give a spark on this team, which she did at halftime. So I'm not sure why she's not even here.
I'm just telling you now, she's still gonna be in the game. I just know it. I just know it. But look,
why?
If you're Temple here, looking at the bigger picture of what this half is, Tariana Gary needs to shoot the ball better. 1 for 5 from 3.
I mean, the entire team does. Nobody has more than 2 shots made on this entire roster.
2 for 4 from 3. I think she's picking up a little bit of momentum here.
I don't know. She hit the 3 earlier in the game in the first quarter. Hit the 3 here in the second half. But really from that, she really hasn't done anything else.
She's found some open
looks. Yeah.
Open looks. You know,
7 rebounds as well. That's a good stat to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, if you're Temple, you have 7 assists. West Virginia has 11. You just gotta pass the ball to get some open looks. I think it's been way too much isolation basketball.
Well, here's the big stat, Ben. Points on turnovers. West Virginia has 11 to Temple's 4. So that is definitely a big
yeah, I mean, but that was expected.
I mean, it wasn't too expected, but at this point, like, they're in the turnover battle. West Virginia has 13 total turnovers. They're leading the game in turnovers right now. So why is Temple down by 14? Because on those 13 turnovers, they only scored 4 points.
Yeah, and we saw it on that last fast break with Tariana Gary.
Yeah.
They had a 5-on-4. She had an open shot. She faked it, drove into the center of the court, then held on to the ball, and then just chucked up a contested shot.
Let's see who stays in the game here as the timeout huddle does break. And I'll tell you what, Ben, so far I'm seeing Turner, Oliver, Gary, and Rivera is back out on the court. Rivera is back out on the court.
I repeat, Rivera is back out on the court.
Yeah, she's 0 for 7 and she's back out on the court. I don't understand this decision from Richardson. I mean, maybe some questions need to be asked in the press conference because I don't even think you're helping your team at this point with her staying in the game.
Yeah, I mean, she does provide some other, you know, facets, her physicality, her rebounding, but
she only has 3 rebounds.
I know, but she's helped. She's helped. Like, I think she has anyway. Definitely
but
not
she's
with the
also
scoring,
probably,
as Oliver misses the first free
She
throw.
probably is the biggest negative in this entire game, as there's no plus or minus stats for college basketball as we're in the game. There's no way to really look at that, but I mean, still, she really isn't helping. As Oliver makes her free throws, it's down by 13 here in the third quarter. Coming up for West Virginia now.
I have really liked for West Virginia Jordan Harrison. I think her ball handling has been excellent.
Down low, the layup. I mean, hey, good defense by Rivera there. I'll give it
And
to
a
her.
rebound.
She got the rebound.
I told
She's
you.
also still 0 for 7. It doesn't change the fact that
I
she's
told you, Jake
missed
Holtzauer.
7 shots. Turner now bringing it up for Temple. You got to start hitting some shots, but you can't rush anything as well. You still have some time on the clock. There's 4 minutes left
Temple
in the third.
looks a little confused here offensively.
I think they're just trying to do something. East getting the screen from Rivera, the only thing she can do. The mid-range, no good. And honestly, you can't be taking those contested shots against this team.
I don't think that was a bad shot.
I don't think it was either. But
She got to
not,
switch onto a opponent that, defensively.
She only has two made shots.
Great
That was
play.
a great pass, a great behind the back bounce
Temple
pass.
has not had one of those buckets the entire game.
No.
It was an easy lay-in
Honestly,
from a half-court
look,
set.
Oliver's wide open over there on 3, by the way, so they're just letting her be open. Gary now open in the corner. But, I mean, Turner bringing the ball up, getting it over to Gary. I don't think Temple, the plays they've been trying to make have not been working, really.
Yeah,
Turner.
West Virginia sinking into some zone here.
Oliver almost hit the step back, pass it out. Turner for 3, hits it. That is Turner from 3.
Temple is staying on the edge of things here.
7 points for Turner now. Travel for West Virginia, and this is the momentum change that Temple needs. They need to try to score on this possession to keep the momentum rolling, because every single time they've had a chance to stop West Virginia's momentum, they failed. So this is a great chance for them to come back down by 12 to cut it to a single-digit lead potentially. Oliver, nowhere in the county. I don't even know where that missed, and that's what I'm talking about. Luckily, they get to steal back, and there is Rivera again, who finally hits the shot. The fadeaway jump shot, and she is now 1 for 8 on the day.
Kobe Bryant would have been proud of that shot.
No, I mean, Kobe did miss the most amount of shots of all time, but still. Pump fake from West Virginia. The nice pass, almost over the other Mountaineer's head. Now,
huge defensive
corner,
possession here.
down low to Revere. Revere on Oliver. Back out. Rivera, what are you doing? Didn't even contest that. That's crazy. Oh, my goodness.
Rivera got lost there. Lost
Kaya
in the
Watson
sauce.
from 3. Rivera, I mean, playing, it looks like she was in a washing machine the amount of time she was spun. Wow. Okay. Turner now.
It's a huge bucket for West Virginia.
To Rivera, I swear. Rivera, if you shoot this, ISO. It misses that shot too. Another 2-pointer that she misses. I mean, I know you're feeling yourself after you made 1 shot out of 8, but you can't be taking contested shots like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, she had a great move. She had a great behind the back there. You got to give it to her.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ben. Rivera now leads Temple in shot attempts.
Yeah, I don't think that's what you want.
No,
I'm going to be honest with
no, I don't think she led that all season long. Rivera now with the ball once more. Driving in. What is that? She flopped. She actually flopped. She looked like a fish in the air, and she didn't get the call.
She looked like a salmon.
Oh, my
She
goodness.
looked like a leaping salmon.
And now she's just playing defense from the back. Stick onto your man. What is happening here? It's going to be
An offensive foul.
a moving screen, I believe, for West Virginia, as it's going to be Temple's ball. But, I mean, that was – I'm not going to lie. Rivera took the worst shot I think I've ever seen in my entire career. Like, literally.
I don't think you're going to be invited to Anissa Rivera's wedding, Jake.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be. I think I'll be mad. She's 1 for 10 taking shots where her
She's
body
gonna be checking up shots during
her
her wedding.
body literally turned into an L in the air. Turner now to 3-point range for East. Not able to hit it. I like that look for East as she does a nice defensive play that will be West Virginia's ball. But, I mean, I like that attempt from East there. I'm just questioning why Rivera is still in this game. Bring in some fresh legs at least. She's got to be tired at this point. She's doing everything wrong. She's doing everything wrong. That's what she's doing.
We'll see what she does here. Or are you just gonna? Is this just WHIP Anissa Rivera watch?
At this point, it might be. The 3-point is
Wow.
good. Number 10, Jordan Harrison.
And I said it earlier.
Yeah,
I love the
talked
way
about
she
it.
has played. You know,
Rivera. Stolen! Passes it right to the defense. What are we doing here? Rivera's playing for the other team at this point. West Virginia now on offense. Rivera playing defense, but not really. The pivot. The nice layup is missed by number 23, Jordan Thomas. And
yeah, Jordan Thomas looked kind of lost, like she didn't know what she wanted to do. Turner with the pull-up.
I mean,
No
a very
good.
contested pull-up there, but almost made the shot. Ben, do you remember when during the World Series the Shohei Ohtani graphic would kept coming up like 11 hours until he comes up?
Yes.
That's Anissa Rivera, but it's 2 more minutes until her next shot attempt. It's
Wow.
crazy.
It reminds me of a certain former Temple point guard for the men's team. Not gonna say who we're talking about, why, but
12
if you
seconds
catch my
left.
drift.
Yeah, 12 seconds left in the third quarter. He was missing shots on purpose, I think. West Virginia now driving in, getting a woman a jump,
Oh.
and a nice pass, but it's no good as that ends the third quarter. And now West Virginia up 52-36. Ben, what does Temple have to do in order to come back in this one? And I'll give you the answer. Anissa Rivera needs to start the quarter on the bench, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, down 16 here. You know, I talked about pregame with you. I can't remember if we said this on the broadcast or if I was talking off air with you, but I think it would be a good look for Temple if they lose this game by less than 20. You know, obviously you want to win the game. You want to win the game, but a 16-point deficit in one quarter of women's basketball when you've only scored 36 is near impossible. But, you know, I will say Temple has done some things well. I think in that quarter, you know, they lost the scoring battle by 6. They were down 10 at halftime. But it was an interesting quarter. They put up 15 points, the most they have put up in this game, but also gave up 21.
Yeah, I think their defense, going into halftime, their defense kind of stepped back while their offense stepped up.
I mean,
but the thing is,
I
25% from the field for Temple.
and I mean, it's exactly what I talked about
Yeah.
to start the half. I thought, you know, West Virginia was going to go on a run. Temple, you know, you thought had weathered it, but then in that last 90 seconds there, I don't like attacking one player like you, but Anissa Rivera, man.
It's crazy because you would think once a player is not doing well, is on the coldest streak I've seen in my entire life, you would think that they would stop feeding her the ball or she would stop taking shots. But she somehow keeps putting up worse and worse shots to try to, I guess, get her going. But there's no point to get her going if you're losing by this much.
Jake, I'm serious. I'm so serious in saying that I've never seen some of the shots she took in that last 5 minutes.
And the thing
she
is,
was just chucking it up from Timbuktu.
And what's crazy about Rivera too, she does average the second most rebounds on the roster. But the thing is, she's not a starter on this team. She rocks the bench, scoring 7.5 off the bench, rebounding 7 points. But she looks like she's a part of the starting unit this time. But she shows time and time again throughout this game why she sits the bench, because she can't make a shot.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fault her aggressiveness, but she's being way over-aggressive in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean,
and you can be over-aggressive. That is a thing you can do.
It is a thing, but here's the thing. Jalissa Molina has the best field goal percentage on the team. She's shooting 3 for 5. Now, were those all 5 layups? Yes. But give her the ball more if she's actually hitting shots. Kayla Turner, 3 for 9 from the field, shooting 33%. Let her take more shots because she's actually hitting them. Right now, Anissa Rivera is shooting 10% from the field. 10%. I just don't understand why she keeps putting up these shots as the fourth quarter is starting here. And, Ben, West Virginia, what do they have to do to just keep this lead?
I think if you're West Virginia, you might see some backups here. You know, I don't think they have to do much. I think from a coaching perspective, you want to see them clean up the turnovers a little bit.
Is there a point total that West Virginia thinks they need to hit before they can say, okay, we had a good game?
I mean, coming into the game 70, right?
Do you think it's realistic they score 18 points here in the fourth quarter?
I mean, they've scored 16, 15, and 21. So depending on how long their starters are in, how long Temple starters are in, we will see as finally
Sedano is in the game, folks. She's in the game, and guess who's not? Rivera. Rivera is rocking the bench to start here in the fourth quarter. The starting five.
I've
going
never
into the
heard
fourth
Jake
quarter
Holzhauer be happier in any situation.
is Tiara East, number 11, Tristan Taylor, the starting point guard. Keelan Sedano is in. Another freshman, Felicia Jacobs, is in, who had some significant minutes in the first half at the end. And Jalissa Molina is in.
Jake,
so
I will tell you.
A young starting five here.
You know, a positive right now is we could see the best comeback of all time.
Not likely. But, I mean, especially with that shot, nice shot by West Virginia here to give them 2 more points. And that's a terrible pass to Molina off the inbound, which has been a struggle all day. Wide open from 3 is missed, so a nice rebound there for the freshman Jacobs, who already has done more than Rivera has the entire game.
She looks like a very solid player.
She does. Taylor putting up that shot, which, oh my goodness, that was, I'm not going to say it was as ugly as some of Rivera's shots, but it was definitely really hard, and she got it to fall.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was a bad shot.
But the thing is, I think Taylor should be taking those shots and not Rivera.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the coaching staff would disagree with you on that.
No. Down low, East playing a bit of defense, pokes it away, and Sedano's there to get the ball. Taylor now bringing it up. Temple, so far, coming out storming here in this fourth quarter with some urgency. Taylor now trying to direct traffic. East on the far side corner. Going in. The pass to Molina is good, but they're going to call a foul on East. It's going to be an offensive foul for East.
Yeah, Tiara East, again, we talked about it pregame. She's the leader of this team, and she continues to have a pretty difficult start to the season.
The thing about this Temple team today is every time they've had momentum, they've just given it back instantly. I don't think they've scored. I mean, again, they've only scored 6 points off of turnovers up until this point, but they've never had, like, back-to-back buckets in a row before West Virginia's gotten one. So it's very interesting. A bit of a mismatch here down low, as that's a very nice pass and a very nice layup from Jordan Thomas. That pass coming from Celia Revere. And, I mean, that's 2 guards playing interior defense right there.
Yeah. This game has been a real struggle for Temple. Which is not a surprise.
Yeah.
It's not a surprise at all.
I mean, after the first quarter, you thought Temple had a really good chance in this one. And it feels like all their chances disappeared. East now.
Yeah, we said it pregame. You have to
Taylor.
play a perfect basketball game, and Temple clearly just has not played a perfect basketball game.
East driving in, gets blocked, but it's going to be a foul. So, nice draw from East there. I think the thing that the Owls have been trying to do all game as well, because of this very tight defense, is I think they're trying to draw fouls. And most of the time when you're trying to draw fouls, it actually doesn't end up happening. So, I think just like there, just try to put a shot up and not try to draw the foul. Just let the foul naturally happen. I think will end up helping you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, I like the fact that Temple has a bunch of freshmen in right now.
Absolutely.
You know, somebody else who I'd love to see number 10 Savannah Curry into the game at some point here.
I mean, at this point,
and your best friend just came back into the game.
Yeah, Revera's back in. I have no idea why. But, I mean, at this point, just give the young players who, I mean, your team's mostly young, but like Rivera, when you're down by 16, I mean, I think Rivera coming in kind of shows that Richardson isn't totally throwing the game away just yet. There's still a small chance that they come back in this one down by 16. But I think that if it goes to a 20-point lead, you just let your younger players play against a very good team to give them that experience that this team is lacking. Even though they just did win the Big Five is nowhere near the skill level of this West Virginia team.
Yeah, absolutely.
West Virginia now down low. Some great defense by Jacobs, the freshman. Going over. The step back 3 is no good. The rebound is good. Hits the rim on the shot. Looks like they're playing bully ball right now. And eventually the foul called on Celia Revere. But, I mean, Temple, the only problem with playing who they have out right now is Molina's coming back in. That's a good thing because that's one of your starting bigs that can get rebounds. Unfortunately, Felicia Jacobs off the bench not the best rebounder.
I will say, I see some potential in Felicia Jacobs.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
she's played a pretty solid basketball game. Look, this West Virginia team has some big bodies inside.
Here's the thing. Unless you're like one of the top freshmen in the country, you're not going to be doing that much against this West Virginia team. So the fact that there's freshmen here like Jacobs, like Sedano, who can just show flashes of doing greatness against this good of a team, I think is a good sign for the future.
Yeah, I really think this game is going to be good for Temple in the long term.
Yeah, it's very interesting that West Virginia hasn't pulled back off of defense at all because they're up by 18, and you would think they would give more cushion room, but they actually haven't. So that's interesting. So that could definitely affect their play style here later in the game. Maybe they're more tired. Who knows?
Interesting to me that Temple continues to put in their veteran players.
I mean, at this point, you don't want to risk injury but that's the thing. I think Coach Richardson isn't throwing this one away just yet, but you're down by 18, 6 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. How much more time can you really have to make a comeback? And there's a tech called on J.J. Kinnerly of West Virginia, which is going to give Temple possession and a free throw. Very interesting that she's arguing with the refs when you're up by 18.
Yeah, I don't know. She must have said something. I didn't see.
She's been around the refs talking all game. I've been noticing. But, I mean, 2 free throws for East now, who they get to choose who gets to go to the line. And she does hit both of them. This is something that could give Temple some momentum, but, I mean, how much momentum can you really have to come back down 16 with
We're going to need to
6 minutes and 50 seconds?
Better than perfect the rest of the game. That's all I got to say.
They got to play perfect defense. They can barely let anything go in for West Virginia. Rivera now with the ball. Passing the ball to Taylor. Rivera wide open. Actually a good shot, but she misses it, and she's now 1 for 11. I mean, why is she still in this game? She has hurt you more than helped you.
I think West Virginia there just was like, you know what? We'll
just let it happen.
Yeah.
Just let Rivera shoot the ball because she knows she's not going to make it.
Oh,
a very almost nice play by Molina. She did end up grabbing the shirt.
Definitely a foul. 100% a foul.
Yeah, it was a defensive foul there from Molina. She grabbed the shirt to try to get to the ball. And, I mean, honestly, I think that Rivera's shot missing was the dagger. Because you have a chance. You just got 2 tech free throws. Let's try to get more points. And then they get none. Rivera now on defense. Molina switching on to the guard. That's number 10, Jordan Harrison, who Ben is really enjoying watching in this one. Down low. To the corner. Shaw back down low. Bit of a mismatch. And that shows as number 37, Celia Revere, gets that too. Taylor now bringing it up. To the corner. Gary from her hot spot. Can't hit it. Rivera does not get the rebound.
Well, she did a good job there. I mean,
yeah,
Temple got the ball back.
Temple did get the ball back. Very interesting how we haven't seen much of Kayla Turner in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm pretty confused right now by the rotations from Temple. I don't necessarily agree with some of their decisions, whether it's the starters or the minutes just overall.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with Taylor, with Kayla Turner, 3 for 9 has 7 points. That's the second most on the team. As Jalissa Molina tied with her at 7, and then Tiara East with 12. So your second best scorer on the team isn't even in the game right now, and you have Anissa Rivera, who's 1 for 11, as that layup over 3 people by East is no good.
Yeah, I think
so. I'm a little confused.
I'm also confused why Amaya Oliver is starting.
Well, she's been starting all year long, but why is she in this game currently?
Well, I know she's been starting all year long, but
she only has.
I thought Felicia Jacobs has played much better than her.
And I think Sedano deserves to be in this game. She hit one of the 3-pointers that this Temple offense really needs to do. I mean, she's 1 for 1. Her only shot she made. So I just don't understand. I think Coach Rich will definitely have to answer some questions about the rotation here. I think as that was a missed layup by East. I think Coach Richardson, definitely played the people she trusts the most. in this game. She definitely gave them more minutes, as that is a offensive foul here for West Virginia. But I think she played the people she trusts the most, gave them the most amount of minutes, and they're down by 18. So I think you got to start giving other people opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, there's a timeout here. If they come back out with that same lineup, I'm going to be incredibly confused.
I want to see Kayla Turner in this game.
I want to see Savannah Curry.
I want to see Savannah Curry. I want to see maybe Felicia Jacobs. The only thing is, now, I'll admit it. I was a little rough on Anissa Rivera. I did not realize that Tiariana Gary is also 1 for 11. The only thing is, the difference is that she's been putting up pretty decent shots compared to Rivera's. But, I mean, having 2 starters in this game that are 1 for 11, I think both of them deserve to be taken out.
And Cherry East isn't much better. She's 2 for 11.
Exactly. So I think, honestly, your 2 best offensive options on the starting 5 is Gary and East.
Combined 3 for 22 from the field.
Yes, and it combined 15 points. So I honestly think you need to just get some other players out there to see what they do, because clearly your starting 5 is just outmatched. Defensively, offensively, in every category of the game. But we're coming up on the last break of the game. We'll be right back, and we won't leave after this one. So we'll be back as soon as the players enter the court once more. Welcome back to WHIP Radio on YouTube. Temple women's basketball against West Virginia. My name is Jake Holzhauer alongside Ben Lotman.
Yo.
And it's 60-42. And me and Ben, before the break, said we wanted to see a few changes in the lineup. The only change I'm seeing is that Kayla Turner is back and Anissa Rivera is still on the court. Now, the thing is, me and Ben during the break both agreed. Tiara East, Tiariana Gary, and Anissa Rivera all shot 11 shots, 1 for 11 for both Rivera and Gary, and then 2 for 11 for East. They shouldn't be on the court right now, Ben. They just shouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, they took out Gary, so to start, you're 33% there. You're 33% there. Hey, 33% is really good if you're a hitter in baseball.
Yeah, and
but in basketball, that's not very good.
And especially when you're shooting 10%, less than 10%.
Temple's field goal percentage, by the way, this game is 24% overall.
Yeah, that's awful.
West Virginia is 39%.
Yeah, that's actually terrible for Temple. 39% for West Virginia.
We want to preface all this somewhat negativity with the fact that it was expected that the game was going to be like this.
Yeah, but not – I mean, good play by Rivera to get up to that ball. But, I mean, it's just not – after that first quarter, I think there's a bit of false hope that Temple gave everyone. East down to Rivera. Let's see what Rivera does here. Puts up another terrible shot, but makes it this time. Whoa, 2 for 12.
A broken clock is right twice a day, Jake.
And she did make 2 shots, Ben. So that is true. I just don't understand how Rivera can be still putting up shots like that.
I'm very confused why both teams still have their starters in.
Yeah, I think both teams should definitely go to their bench, especially West Virginia.
Is there like 6 quarters in this game? Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure there's a 4-quarter basketball game.
Yeah, very nice turn and layup for Celia Revere, which Revere, a very nice game. Now has 10 points, shooting 3 for 4 from the field. So very, very good game from their center. But I mean, it's just like I just don't understand why both starters, like you said, are in the game, because you could always risk injury. Rivera, from 3, does not make it. What a surprise, Ben. And the crowd goes silent because that's all they've been doing all game. They actually cheered more for the little girls playing at halftime than this game right here.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say in response to that.
I know.
There's
Bad layup from West Virginia.
I don't think there's anything
Kayla
good
Turner
I could
now.
say in response to that line, Jake.
Kayla Turner taking the shot. Mid-ranger is no good. Rolls out. Rivera does not get the rebound, and she does look a little upset with herself, which, I mean, I would be too if I'm shooting 2 for 12. So now West Virginia, who's going to try to kill the clock as much as possible.
We tick down
Driving
under 3
in.
minutes here. Oh.
2. Once again, there's center Revere, who, I mean, honestly has had a really, really good game. Her and Watson, the 2 leading scorers.
I think Jordan Harrison as a true point guard is probably the best true point guard I've seen in the women's game in person. I mean, she's just been – her passing has been excellent. She's seen passes that I don't know anybody on Temple could ever see.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
she's handled it. She has handled it. Look,
Another
great
bounce
pass into the post.
I think her go-to move is that bounce pass,
Yeah.
which works.
You can just tell she has a great basketball IQ.
Many times. Another nice mid-range shot there from Sydney Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, look, West Virginia's just making these mid-rangers now that Temple isn't making.
Rivera just ran into a brick wall, chucked it up, and didn't even come close to the rim. I am watching somebody get bullied out there right now. It's like when the last kid in kickball gets picked and everybody picks at him and bullies him for being bad. That's what's happening here.
I think you can. And in the first at-bat, he tries to kick it out of the yard and completely misses it.
Yeah, and that's what happened there. Rivera ran into a brick wall. The defensive player for West Virginia didn't move, and then she just threw up a shot and missed. Another great play there from their center, Revere, where they passed it down to Jordan Thomas. I mean, here's the thing, Ben. Going into the fourth quarter, the player of the game, according to the arena, was Jalissa Molina. She's not even on the court right now. So if you don't have your player of the game in their eyes on the court, then you're pretty much sacking the game at this point.
I don't get as the Leah Course Center starts to
empty out. Yeah.
I'm just confused as to why, in one aspect, they're giving it up on the game, but they're not putting in their freshmen.
Yeah, I don't
at all.
understand. They're risking injury, which is not something that you want to do. I mean, look at what Sandrain did with Evan Simon that one game where he kept him in the last minute and he got his ribs bruised. So you definitely don't wish for injury and you never want that to be a factor. But when you keep your starters in, when you're down by 24 points in the fourth quarter, then I definitely think that it's a mistake to keep them in.
Yeah, it's interesting. Coach Richardson here takes a timeout, which I do like in this situation. You got to let your team know, hey, this game is going to be painful. Getting dismantled like this is always painful for a team, but this happened last year. I remember last year that when they faced Georgetown in the pre-conference play, they lost by 20 plus, and then they ended up winning the regular season championship, making a run.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely a wake-up call for the Owls. It definitely is. The only thing is, I think it also causes some questions for Coach Richardson, who everybody adores, everybody loves. She's such a great coach and such a great person. But the thing is, if I'm seeing Anissa Rivera or Tiara East or Tariana Gary on the court in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter, you just have to question why they're still there, because you're basically saying that these players that start for us are going to continue to play, but when they're not performing, you don't give anybody else the chance to step up.
Yeah, I mean, I will say everybody on the roster hasn't really been performing this game.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if you're down
24. You're
24
down by 24 at the moment.
Or I guess earlier in this quarter, they were down 18 with like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Why are you not giving your freshmen that experience?
Yeah, I mean, they showed out, too. I mean, coming off the bench, Sedano, her one and only shot, she hit from 3. Felicia Jacobs had some key blocks towards the end of the first half that allowed you to get some more points up. So there's Sedano out now, actually. And number 13 checking in for the first time, Alexandra Wilkinson, who is a redshirt junior who doesn't normally see the court as much. So she's finally gone with the backups. But then I see somebody else like Tristan Taylor. Why is she still on the court?
Savannah Curry is also out there, though.
Savannah Curry is out there, but why is Tristan Taylor still out there? Yeah. She's not a part of the backup unit.
Savannah Curry, I'd love Savannah Curry to get the ball here. She's the future of this program, one of the biggest recruits in Temple history, very much the biggest recruit on the women's side of things. So, hopefully she gets some shots up here.
Yeah, it's 1:20 left to go. Here is Curry, passing over to Sedano. Sedano, very dangerous from three. She's already shown, but let's not force shots, as she didn't do there. She passed over to Curry. Curry, really, really tightly guarded. Molina now just giving the ball up. And it looks like same thing with West Virginia. They brought some backups in. Number 4 is not somebody that I've seen all game, Destiny Agubada. But they still have one of their best players, Sydney Shaw, in the game. So it's very interesting that both these teams decided to go with their bench players, but still have some of their starters in there.
Yeah, and I think we were mistaken. I don't think that is Curry. I thought it was number 10, but it is number 30.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's Drew Alexander. Curry's still not on the court. 3 and 10 look very similar when you're this far away. The hook shot missed. Molina with the rebound. 30 seconds left to go. On the clock, Turner now bringing it up. And now you just give some people some chances. Turner with the N1 floater. This game is pretty much all but over. 26 seconds. You can't really make 22 points in 26 seconds.
I love seeing Tristan Taylor's layups because she's so short. She has to chuck it up so far, so they're always super high arcing.
But makes it very effortless, which is very fun to see. Her and Kayla Turner off the bench, both some of the shortest players on the team at 5'6" for Turner.
You love to see that
Taylor.
Hustle though from Temple, getting that loose ball.
But I mean, again, these are the backups. Of course, they're going to hustle. They want more minutes, so they're fresh coming into this game. And somebody like Turner, who's still in the game, isn't fresh, but yet she's still putting up shots. So, Taylor. So it's just very interesting to see the thought process as that ball was just completely thrown away, erasing about 8 seconds off the clock. Ben, we know the story of this one. It was a close first quarter, and then West Virginia ran away with it with the sloppy play from Temple, as they could still put 70 on the board, which you said they would be happy about. So
they won't, though. 10 seconds here. West Virginia going to dribble out the clock.
Yeah,
and
that's all they're going to do. Are they going to put up a shot? We'll see.
Escape Northfield, or not really escape. Escape's not the right word. They handily win.
Do you know who needs to escape North Philadelphia? Anissa Rivera.
Yeah.
Because she needs to take a break, go focus on finals. Maybe her last finals like today at like 4 o'clock. So maybe she's
having a final on a Sunday would kind of stink.
That would stink, but maybe she waited to the last second. But let's just see. I mean, Ben, what do you think of this game? Any good takeaways from Temple today? Did they compete enough for you?
I think the first quarter you got to look at and say that was a good first quarter. But other than that, I mean,
it was a competitive first quarter. I'll give them that. But then that
competitive
second
is a better word. I don't think they played that well, but they slowed down West Virginia.
When some of your starters are 1 from 11, 2 for 13, 2 for 12, it will never ever come up as success in the scorebooks and in the final score. So West Virginia ends up winning this one 68-46, and going future, looking at the next game for Temple already. December 21st, in just 6 days, it's against Xavier at 11 p.m. So a primetime game against Xavier. Temple now 5-4 on the season. What do you hope to see moving forward, Ben, for Temple?
I think they got to figure out some more with these rotations. I still don't think they're set yet for conference play. But look, I think the real thing is just figuring out those rotations, like I said. And offensively, they got to figure some more stuff out because their defense hasn't been half bad. Their defensive rebounding hasn't been great, but overall defensively, I mean, you held West Virginia to 68 points. I think a lot of that was on West Virginia themselves just being sloppy, but you got to give some credit to the Temple defense. But I do think offensively, it's been a struggle all season. Tiara East, I'm gonna specifically point out her. She's got to do better. She's got to do better.
I mean, the thing is, when she has scored 3 20-plus points games, and I think they've won most of those games, if not all of those games this season when she scored 20-plus. So yes, she has to step up. But the thing is, if the team around her is also not carrying her weight when she isn't performing her best, that is a problem. I honestly think this game was definitely a show for the Owls that showed that they need to figure out more rotations throughout the game and bring in more presence off the bench when they are struggling, because if you continue to let your 3 players that shot for over 10 shots that only made 2 shots max, then they just shouldn't be giving that many minutes to them if they're not performing well. So I just think the younger players on the bench do need to find some more court time and kind of fill in when the rest of the team's struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm happy we got to call this first game together. It was a good time, though the result did not go the way of the Owls. It was fun to see this West Virginia team that could be competing for a national championship this year.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Yeah, they are not a lock for March Madness, but you would probably see them in there.
I think I would consider them a lock. I mean, they're 15th ranked in the nation.
I mean, they might have moved up from this. We're not sure just yet after they do the polling again. But that will do it here in Philadelphia for Temple women's basketball. Stay tuned for the next game here on WHIP Radio. I am your host, Jake Holzhauer, your play-by-play commentator alongside Ben Lotman. We're going to be doing a bunch more games together, so we won't be going anywhere. But definitely support Temple basketball as much as you can, because both teams, I mean, besides this loss, both teams do look fun this year.
Yep, and Jake, go Birds.
No thanks. Well, go Owls. I'll say that.
Go Owls.
Yep.
Go Owls.
Yep. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.